Envase Technologies creates a suite of solutions that makes it easier to run your trucking business. For drivers and carriers, our solutions put control back in your hands with a TMS, capacity and storage marketplace, and rate management system. Optimize your operations with less administrative headaches and increase the value of your time spent on and off the clock. Envase Technologies, driving progress, delivering innovation. For more information, visit envasetechnologies.com. That's ENVASE Technologies.com.
All right. Good morning and happy Friday. Welcome to a very special episode of No Bullshipping with Hope White. Man, this week, woman, this week has been, we made it, okay? But I'm so excited by our guests that are coming up. They are students of the Logistics and Supply Chain Management program at Georgia Southern University in Statesboro, Georgia. We're going to have a conversation around the Georgia Southern University Logistics and Supply Chain Management program, what their experience there is with the college, and how they're looking forward to the manufacturing and distribution industry here in Georgia. So I don't want to delay. I want to bring up our guests, Kevon Williams and Carrington Baker. Hi.
Good morning. Good morning.
Good morning. Good morning. Good morning. Thank y'all so much for agreeing to be a part of the show. Before we dive right into it, I want you all to introduce yourselves. Tell us who you are, what exactly your major is at Georgia Southern University, and then we'll go from there.
Yeah, we go first.
I go first. I'm Kevon Williams. I am a graduating senior at Georgia Southern. My major is supply chain logistics with the emphasis on the operations management side.
Yeah, and then my name is Carrington Baker. I am a sophomore at Georgia Southern University, majoring in logistics and supply chain management. And I also have the emphasis in operations and supply management.
Awesome. I'm so excited to talk with you all because it's very rare that I come across logistics and supply chain management majors or students here in this area. And so I want you to tell everyone, I would like Kevon to answer this question, but could you tell everyone exactly where we met? Because it was not actually locally that we met.
Yeah, we met at the IANA Expo in California.
Yeah.
And it was a very big stage for a lot of intermodal people. And we met by, you came to our table and you wanted to introduce yourself. And me and Carrington thought it was a great idea to connect with you and be hopeful for some future ventures, which has already happened. And I want to thank y'all again for coming to speak to the GSLA students.
Oh, you're awesome. Anytime. How awesome is that, Carrington, that we met in California versus Statesboro?
It's amazing. I was my first time with doing anything with Georgia Southern, trying to go to the West Coast. So it was an amazing opportunity to just meet and network with other people at the event, that lifelong connections that I've formed now.
Absolutely. Okay, well, now let's dive into this because this is a conversation that has been going around in the industry for a couple years now about the next generation of supply chainers, supply chain executives. What does that look like? And here we are. We have two students here at Georgia Southern University majoring in those programs. So Kevon, I'll start with you. What made you select your program for logistics and supply chain? How did you come to know about it? Was it something you were always interested in? And what made you make that hard decision to major in that?
Okay. So it wasn't something I was interested in at first. I actually wanted to be an accountant at first. Okay. And my mom, she knew accounting wasn't for me, but it was one of those where she said, I'm gonna let him figure out for himself.
Yeah.
But she also stays in Washington State, and she took me for that summer. She flew me out to Washington and got me a summer job so I can buy my own car.
Okay.
And it was in a warehousing. And I remember after the first day of work, after my first shift, I went home to her and I told her, I can actually do this in a warehouse because I felt like a connection there. And I was like, I want to switch majors. And she was like, they have a degree for that, right?
Right.
And she told me about supply chain. I remember spending the rest of that night just Googling everything about it. And I actually changed my major that same day with Georgia Southern.
Wow, that's amazing. Accounting, huh?
Yeah.
We'll talk about that in a minute. Okay, Carrington, what about you?
I came to supply chain. It's been around me my whole life, basically. So my mom works for doing HR for a logistics company. My dad used to run his own trucking company for a while, and then both my aunt and my uncle are truck drivers. So it was just
All
I've
right.
always known about it.
All right, so it was going to get that paper behind us so we can further the steps. I got you. Okay, awesome, 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 awesome. Well, great job in selecting logistics and supply chain. It's definitely an industry that is diverse. You can go so many different ways with it, not just necessarily getting a job for someone, but just like you just spoke on, being an entrepreneur. On that side, there's a tech side, there's the warehousing side, there's the inventory management side, the rail side. I mean, there is just so many different avenues there that we can do with this logistics and supply chain degree. So I'm very proud of you all. Right. All right. So Kevon, you are getting ready to graduate. Is that right? Did we talk about that
Yes,
before
ma'am.
the show?
Yes, ma'am. This December.
All right. And what's your upcoming plans?
I will be starting at Frito-Lay in Perry, Georgia as a supply chain leader.
All right. Okay. Supply chain exec. Come on through. And Carrington, you are going up for an internship. And where will you be interning?
I'll be interning at Frito-Lay as well in Perry, Georgia this summer. So
Awesome. Awesome. Well, congratulations to you both. I know that you're going to be phenomenal leaders at Frito-Lay. They're both getting, two very good assets there. So I'll be looking forward to see how your career grows over the next couple of years. But I got two questions for you guys getting started here. So since you've chosen logistics and supply chain, you couldn't have picked a better university to do that at, which is Georgia Southern University that sits in Georgia. Of course, we know that. But over the last 2 months, there has been a significant amount of growth in Georgia. How are you all learning about that at Georgia Southern University, Carrington?
I would say Georgia Southern University does a great job of like exposing us to different companies, taking us to different events. So Dr. Burke has taken us to the Diana Expo in California that's getting us connected and networking with different companies. And then we also recently went to like a lunch and learn at the Savannah Traffic Club. That just we have something every time to do. There's other organizations on campus that are like student-led organizations where we connect with these supply chain leaders, get them to come to the school, speak, and then even recruit from the school. So I think Georgia Southern is doing an amazing job with their recruitment and helping us to be better supply chain leaders.
Awesome. Preparing y'all for that growth that's coming here in Georgia. Yeah, that exposure. Kevon?
Carrington basically hit it on the head. Professors and the student-led organizations are the biggest ones. If I had to add anything else, it'd probably be how how the school is organizing Eagle Expos, logistics roundtables, and other events just to put those companies in front of us and give us an opportunity to network with them and potentially get an interview the next day, because I have seen it happen. But the biggest ones for me would be the student-led organizations. With me being the president of GSLA, my main focus is just putting companies in front of the students and helping them reach those connections.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Can you expound a little bit on that, putting those companies in front of those, or putting the students in front of those companies? How has that been bridging the gap right there? Because, when you get your degree, coming out, you have your eye, oh, I'm going to work for this company, but that may not happen, right? So how has it been for you working to bridge that gap with those companies and those students?
It's been a little tough, being that GSLA had a little rough past semesters, but most of the companies already knew GSLA already. So once I reach out to them and tell them, hey, we would like to host you for an event, they usually just ask, what do you want me to talk about? Are there any seniors going to be in the room? They just want to scan of the room so they can help it out. And I try to get different companies or different type of people. That way you won't have that same company talking about the same position. I want them all to know something different.
Absolutely. Absolutely. So Carrington, I have a question here for you, right? How, and I want to phrase this the right way so it doesn't come off tone, but logistics and supply chain, with supply chain being such a large impact on the world, right? We know that the rail keeps us moving, ocean runners keep us moving, and also tractor trailers keep us moving, right? How popular is the program just as a whole, not necessarily at Georgia Southern University, but do you have a lot of friends? Is it something that's buzz amongst your generation that people want to enter into logistics and supply chain?
With me being a female, most of all my friends are like, "What is supply chain?" So most people don't really know about it, and they think like it's a man's industry, and it's like it's not a man's industry. Anyone can do it.
Absolutely.
Worldwide, but it's not that popular in my opinion.
Yes.
Georgia Southern program, we have, I believe 200 students. So we're one of the smaller business majors, but hey, y'all missing out.
Yeah, you're missing out for sure, for sure. I think conversations around logistics and supply chain need to expand beyond what people typically think it is. I mean, it's no secret that over the years, most people consider trucking, driving the truck, logistics and supply chain, but it's actually not that. It's all the things that go in the background of that planning, the accounting piece that Kevon spoke on earlier, technology, storage services. This is just so many different umbrellas there that outside of trucking, we need to understand the industry of logistics and supply chain. All right, so I need to tell some people hello because you do have some people over here in the comments that's telling you and giving you some kudos, right? So we have Jay Ford out of Dallas, Texas says, hello, Carrington and Kevon, very intelligent students doing a great job. Bill Keeley says, congrats. Charlene Johnson says, amazing, Carrington and Kevon. And then Mary Williams says, Frito-Lay has gained a wonderful leader. So awesome. Thank you so much for those comments. If you have any questions or insight for Kevon, make sure Kevon and Carrington, please make sure you put it over in the chat for us. All right. So this industry is ever evolving. What are some of the things that you're doing right now as young leaders to evolve into the industry, coming in to make it better, right? Not necessarily be so manual. So there's a running joke in logistics and supply chain is how do we get away from Excel? Because everything that we do in this business is surrounded around Excel. So what are some of the things that you all are talking about to evolve outside of what the current industry is doing?
I would honestly say just trying to stay up with everything. Mm-hmm. This semester, I'm taking a predictive analytics class, which is totally new territory for me. But I will leave that class knowing, like, when I get to Frito-Lay, that's some people's job, coding and programming, just that type of thing. So I need to know that. And then I have another class, service operations management. She was talking about a Tableau tool. Mm-hmm. And when she mentioned it, I'm like, oh, I know that. I seen it.
You know that, yeah.
So just trying to stay up to date with all the new technology and what could be coming in or what's going out. That way, I won't be left behind in the trends.
Right. Okay, Carrington.
Right now, I'm subscribing to a lot of different workshops and seminars so that I can just better myself and get a deeper understanding of what the industry entails. Mm-hmm. And then I'm just going through the classes, and I'm thinking about picking up an information systems minor so that when I go into the industry, because technology is going to keep evolving, it's going to keep growing. So as long as I know how to work it, I won't get left behind, like Kevon said.
Absolutely. And segueing into our next question, which is how do you both feel about, and I'm going to ask Carrington to answer that first. How do you feel about the integration of technology and supply chain? And I'm going to go a little further right there. There is a lot of venture capital, a lot of opportunity around streamlining the processes between the ocean line and the end customer, right? Just all the way in there, and no one has figured it out yet, right? So how do you feel about how quickly we can solve a lot of our challenges with technology and supply chain?
I think technology is a great thing in supply chain. It's making the processes easier. It's making you're able to collaborate and you're able to work with your end customers. Y'all are able to get up-to-date information and just it's open, you know what's going on. I think it's a great thing. And it's hoping to save money, cut costs, it's saving time and everything else.
Absolutely. Come on, Kevon. Frito-Lay. Both of y'all.
I can top that answer. But just like she said, it's a great thing. I welcome the new technology because there was a time where we didn't have all this technology and we was behind the ball. And now that we're using it, look how we are now. And if we keep using it and it keep evolving, it's going to get even better and better, in my opinion. So like I welcome it, and like I said, I can't top Karen's answer because she hit it right on the head.
Yeah, so I'm gonna take it back to Karen's, and now you got to go back to your family. I don't know if they do this, but I'm just gonna throw it out there. Now you got to tell them about TMS, transportation management software, and warehouse management software if y'all doing warehouse, and then EDI, right? Electronic data interchange, right? You're gonna have to take those things back to your family now so that they can grow the business rapidly because those are things you're learning about.
Yep, because my dad has, I think, 2 different warehouses, so I'm trying to help him get the warehouse management system in place and
come on
inventory controls. So yeah, I'm trying to use my degree and help him.
Absolutely. That's what I'm talking about. That's what I'm talking about. So we got a few more chats coming in. If you just joined the conversation, I'm speaking with Kevon Williams and Carrington Baker of Georgia Southern University. They are students, majors in logistics and supply chain management. And they shared with us that one has an internship and one is taking a leadership role or a role at Frito-Lay here in Perry, Georgia, which is awesome. I want to tell Janae Smith out of Charlotte. She says, good morning from Charlotte. Awesome. Okay. All right. So next question here is Georgia is expanding rapidly, right? We are the #1 for supply chain and logistics. How awesome is that, right? How are you all keeping up with all the new companies and industries entering the state? I know you talked about Georgia Southern partnering you all with different networking events, but are there any other opportunities or any other resources that you ought to utilize and to just make sure you stay abreast of it? Maybe not from an employment perspective, but just kind of understand what the industry is doing.
To understand what the industry is doing, it's going to sound a little corny. I usually go to my mom. Because,
really?
My mom, she's up to date with all that type of stuff. Like if I got a question about it, I'm like, Mom, can you tell me what's going on? And like she'll either point me in the right direction, or she'll just like, look this up and you'll find it. Because she's telling me all the time, you need to watch the news, you need to stay up to date on the news.
Absolutely.
And I'll be slacking off, I'm gonna be completely honest, but
yeah,
most of it's coming from the news.
Right, absolutely. Come on, Carrington.
I would say the news, of course, and then I'm subscribed to many different like companies that send you like monthly or weekly emails about what's going on, what's going on in the supply chain industry. So that's how I'm staying up to date.
Awesome. Okay, well, one of the resources that I use is Georgia Department of Economic Development. I use it from a state level. We also have a local level here. We have Candler County Economic Development, right? And that entity is always abreast of whatever industries and companies that are coming in our area, right? So that's maybe another resource that you can add up under your umbrella to keep up with what some of the companies are coming into the state of Georgia. They also have a lot of conferences, a lot of mixers or networking events that the general public can typically attend. So it may be something you all might want to look into. Yeah, I know I think it's March. I hope I'm not wrong, but in March, they're going to have the Georgia Logistics Summit. So I hope to definitely see you both there.
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah. Okay. So in your perspective, Carrington, where do you feel the largest demand for supply chain and logistics is right now? Do you think it's in the trucking side? Do you think it's in the warehousing side? Do you think it's in technology? Where do you see the biggest demand? Is it people? Is it education? Is it resources, capital? What do you think it is?
I would say a combination of all of them. I'm a little biased. I'm mostly warehousing and in people and development. That's something I'm big about. I want to eventually become a supply chain consultant and just work with different companies on how to better their supply chains and how to develop their people so that their operations run better, smoothly, more effective, and stuff of that nature.
Yes.
I think that each aspect of the supply chain industry could have some more demand, some more growth, and just become better overall.
Okay. Kevon?
Just like Carrington, combination of all of them with the port expanding and I-16 expanding this roads to fit more due to the port expanding. We're going to need more warehousing, more trucking, more people development. And people development is also big on me because my main goal is I want to help people and I wanted to do it without teaching or being a teacher. So warehousing was like the next big thing because at first when I did accounting, like I gave up on teaching, but when I got back to the supply chain, when I learned about the supply chain side, it hit me like I could teach again and help people develop just in a different way.
Yeah.
And so I would always say people development would be at the top of the list.
Top of the list. Yeah. People development is definitely key. In this area, with the upcoming growth, it's going to be interesting to see how we develop the culture and the locals around these jobs and what's needed as far as education, as far as training, to get everyone acclimated to what exactly supply chain needs. So that will be interesting to see over the next couple of years. So Carrington, they will definitely be needing you for a supply chain consultant, because that extra training there is definitely needed there, right? But one thing I didn't hear you mention, Carrington, and that is they need Black women in supply chain and logistics, particularly in leadership.
Yeah, because I'm usually always the only person in the room, or it's very few in the room. So yeah.
Absolutely. We value men, Kevon, right?
Trust me, I understand.
But diversity, diversity is definitely needed in this industry. For a long time, it has been operated in a sense of the same way, but different ideas, different direction, growth is needed, and that diversification there is needed. All right, we got to check in with Brianna Allen. She says hello to you all. You met her at IANA as well. Brianna is my daughter. She's one of my ops managers. Hi, Bree. So before we close out, I want you all to explain to me, or to share with everyone who's listening, what your organization is that you're part of at the school, the Georgia Logistics Association. Is that something that is at every college, or is it only something that Georgia Southern offers?
I'm gonna say something only Georgia Southern offers, as far as I know of, because most colleges don't have a logistics program from Georgia, I believe. But GSLA, their student-led organization, but I'm not gonna touch too much on it. I'm gonna let our future vice president touch on it.
Okay. And before you do that, future vice president, can you tell me what GSLA stands for?
It stands for Georgia Student Logistics Association. We were formerly known as Georgia Southern Logistics Association, but we rebranded and have a new name. Basically, our mission is to empower the next generation of supply chain leaders.
Yes.
Through different engagements, social activities, and things of that nature.
Okay. And does it allow other colleges to be a part of that organization as well? Do you have to can you be a technical college, or is it only for universities?
It's just a student-led organization. So we love to branch out and go to expand with different colleges, do different opportunities, and network with other colleges to even grow our organization more and more. But as of right now, we're just at Georgia Southern.
Awesome. Okay. I would like to hear more about that. All right. Well, Kevon and Carrington, it has been such a pleasure speaking with you all today. But before we leave, I want you to tell everyone, how can they find you? Carrington, please tell us, how can we find you?
You can connect with me on LinkedIn at Carrington Baker. If you search it up, it should be the /Carrington CAB. And then you can connect with us on the Georgia Student Logistics Association. Our Instagram is gsla.gsu. And then our email and everything else is in the bio as well.
Awesome. Okay, Kevon.
You can connect with me on LinkedIn. Just search up Kevon Williams. I'll be the one with the blue suit professional headshot.
Come on with it.
And just like Carrington said, you connect with us on LinkedIn with our GSLA page. If you would like to hopefully speak to our students, we'll be more than happy to set that up. Just reach out to us.
Awesome. I want to tell you all congratulations again for your choice in choosing logistics and supply chain management. I know that you all are going to be shooting rising stars in this industry. And if there's anything that I or my team or my company can do to be a resource to you all, we're here for you all.
Thank you.
All right.
Thank you so much. Y'all have a great day.
You as well.
You as well.
All right. Bye-bye. All right. Awesome. Did you enjoy that show? It's always different to hear a different perspective. Those are our future leaders in supply chain and logistics. They're in an awesome state. We're in Georgia. We're the best. Okay. We're rising. We're growing very rapidly. And so those are a few of our rising leaders. Awesome job to Georgia Southern University for preparing their students in their program for the next level, next steps, those awesome careers that they've already been selected for. Awesome. Kudos to Georgia Southern University for that. Awesome. Well, thank you so much for taking this Friday to have this conversation with us around logistics and supply chain management programs at GSU. Y'all have a happy Friday and a good weekend. Until next time, have a great day. Bye-bye.